Moral Maze, a weekly look inside the inner workings of issues of life and sexuality and morality. Now, this week, Justin Trudeau, the gift that keeps on giving, he has said that the right to kill an unborn baby is more important than the conscious rights of MPs. He wouldn't quite put it like that, I suppose, but who cares? Campaign Live's Matt Wojciechowski is our guest, and Justin Trudeau, it's fascinating the way he phrases this and plays it. And I hate to say it, but it actually might be, well, quite successful for him. He's trying to out-NDP the NDP. The NDP have always said you can't be a candidate if you're in any way pro-life. He has now said this about the Liberal Party. He's just gone further and said that a woman's reproductive rights, which is a euphemism for the right to abort your unborn child, is more important than the conscience of any candidate. How can anyone who is a Catholic and evangelical in any way pro-life now vote Liberal?
Well, yeah, that's a very good point. And I think when you say that Justin's trying to become the official left party in government, then that's very true. And as a Catholic, I have no idea what this will do. I mean, I know that this should damage the Catholic vote. Will it? We don't know, because there are many Catholics in Canada who support Justin Trudeau, who love him, they loved his father. And none of this stuff will really affect their vote. However, I do think there is a growing population, a demographic of Catholic voters, Christian voters, just people who uphold any type of religious values, who will be strongly opposed to this position.
We mentioned his father, but as much as his father was not my ideal politician, he wouldn't have gone this far. He did believe in the notion of conscience. There was the NDP changed on this. The NDP had many pro-life members. I mean, its formation, its foundation actually was quite evangelical.
That's right.
There was then a notorious case where an MP in, I think it was Churchill, Manitoba, northern Manitoba, she refused to support something that was connected in that case with same-sex marriage, and because of that, they effectively threw her out of the party.
That's right. And the NDP used to be, they used to be the party of the little man, and a lot of pro-lifers used to, fall into that party. And then obviously they had that massive switch. They lost all their pro-lifers, all the socially conservative folks. And now just Justin Trudeau's doing the same thing with the Liberal Party. I do think, however, that this will have a very negative effect.
Well, let me ask you about that, because we can sit here and say, he's gone too far now. He's obsessed about this issue. We know it's not really about abortion even. It's about saying to people, I am nothing like Stephen Harper. They're all crazy pro-lifers. He's done nothing, really, for the pro-life community. And we're the alternative. But the Catholic vote is aside. There's, what, 10% evangelicals in this country. The Catholic vote is huge. Can you list for me now the bishops, the archbishops, the cardinals, the clergy, the Roman Catholic clergy who are saying, you cannot vote for this man in good Catholic conscience? Who are they?
Well, I mean, you raise a very good point. When Justin Trudeau made his comments at the beginning of the summer, following the March for Life about this stuff, a lot of the church's bishops came out and spoke against what he said. Cardinal Collins, Bishop Prendergast in Ottawa.
Bishop Prendergast in Ottawa, I mean, I saw him just after, and I asked him about this. He said, well, it wasn't about Trudeau as such. It was a general statement.
I do think bishops and the church hierarchy should definitely come out very strongly.
Do you think they will?
I hope so, and I pray that they do.
Do you think they will?
Let's hope so.
Let's move on.
I think it's also, the people in the pews should also be the ones challenging the clergy to say something.
Look, you know the logic of this. If you're not a Catholic, I mean, you don't have to obey Catholic teaching, but if you say you're a Catholic and then you deny it and you lie about it, according to the Catholic Church, you're putting your soul in immortal danger. So a good bishop would say to this person, this MP, this candidate, I have to help you here. You're in real trouble. But I wouldn't hold your breath on that one.
Wasn't there a meeting that was supposed to happen between Trudeau and a bishop, I think?
Was
back in June? Yeah, I don't know if that ever happened. But
now, he also spoke, he speaks at quite a lot of Catholic schools, and they seem to love him. I think it's his hair. Lovely hair. There was one recently, and there were Campaign Life protesters outside. Were you one of the protesters?
I was not one of the protesters, but we had Campaign Life Coalition youth members who showed up with signs and images and posters with abortion victims.
Did you achieve anything?
You know what? I mean, it wouldn't have been a news story, and it did generate some news.
True.
And I think this needs to be addressed, because Justin Trudeau, time and time again, he keeps going into these Catholic schools, these Catholic venues, and he discriminates against people who hold Catholic values.
Good point.
But at the same time, he goes and uses their facilities.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we needed to address this. We did. And I think, All right. The next school probably won't be as happy to have
Last subject now. We're going to show some images here, and I want to give you time because these images are extremely disturbing. They are what they are. They're images of unborn children who've been aborted. They are but I want to give you time, if the kids are there, whatever. I think that is enough time. Let's see one or two of these images now, please. Let's put them on the screen. They're being sent out in New Brunswick, where abortion has been made a major issue, actually, by the Liberals. Do you think these are too graphic?
I think they're very graphic. I think it's very sad that we have come to this point, but I think I fully support what they're doing. And I think people need to know that when Brian Gallant says that he wants to bring about abortion on demand, unrestricted abortion that's taxpayer funded in New Brunswick, people need to know what abortion really does to the human being. And this picture shows what abortion does. So I think they're very graphic. But
you're sending these out as, what is it, posters or postcards?
They're postcards, yeah. They have
who are they
these
being
images.
Sent to?
They have, there's a whole team of CLC youth members together with members of the Canadian Center for Bioethical Reform, which is another pro-life national organization.
Delivering them?
And they're working together with local activists, delivering them to households across the province.
There will be a backlash, to a degree. People will say, this is appalling, you shouldn't be doing this, I don't want to see this sort of thing.
I think people, yeah, that will happen, and it has happened in the past, but I think the people who will see these images, they might change their opinion when it comes to voting for Brian Gallant.
All righty. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.